A federal jury awards nearly $1 million in back wages to workers at a Wichita Mexican restaurant chain. The Department of Labor says that Los Cocos Mexican restaurant took wages from servers in order to pay bussers and hostesses. Now, some workers were also not paid any overtime. In total, 168 workers are included in the lawsuit. The violations happened from May 2017 to December 2022. The restaurant will have to pay a total of $957,000, including $567,000 in wages for the loss of tip credit, $276,000 for overtime pay, $88,000 in withheld tips, and $25,000 in other violations.